when we left off, our intrepid heroes made their way to the Twin Temples, kicked down the door, made their way inside with relatively minimal opposition, and managed to talk their way past a quite large solar construct, as it was being used as a mouthpiece by a quote-unquote surviving Talionite bishop, who it turns out is a very distant cousin of August's.
Also a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Actually, August says she's one of his least cunty relatives, so...
Oh, well, I mean, that was before she was a ghost.
Yeah, and also the least cunty Autumn Star is not a particularly high bar. But, it could be worse.
Could be worse.
But instead of...
literally dealt with August himself and his sister.
I mean, August thinks he's the least cunty of his entire family, so...
Yes, but here's the thing. We have dealt with August himself and his direct sister.
I was muted when I was saying, well, he's allowed to think that.
Well,
it is his constitutionally guaranteed right to be incorrect.
I mean, he was very direct. He's very direct. He was very direct about what he did. He didn't go around backstabbing the people in his family, or he just kind of killed them. So there's something to say about just being straightforward about it.
There's something to be. At least Hitler was honest about it. He just went and killed the Jew.
No.
He wrote a book. He said he was going to do it.
The difference is he killed them in their face, not in their back. He said, "I'm going to kill you, and you will see me coming. You will have all the fucking time in the world to try and stop me, but I will fucking kill you."
I'm just saying, in degrees of cuntiness, I'm pretty sure genocide still ranks pretty high up there in the scale.
Oh yeah, but you can't deny that he was sort of right.
Guys, fucking shut up. We've seen done this conversation like a dozen times. A dozen times at least ad nauseum. I don't give a shit. Moving on.
Yeah. So actually, there is a thing I would like to ask, but this is in character by Bear.
Well,
right.
Okay.
We're up in the Temple of the Sun, the Altar of the Sun. Nahia's just finished making her sword, and August failed to trick you into summoning a demon.
Yeah, you all just ruined my nice patterns and everything.
So we're on our way down the stairs, and Ursula brings something up.
Yeah, I remember something when we were down in the primal temple place. Remember when we did the magic puzzle? Oh, yeah, like this magic goes to this place, to this primal, and like that. Remember?
Try again.
Remember in the primal temple where you saw like your big primal god and Vulcanus was pretty dead and bleeding from the eyes?
In the Pantheon?
Yes, down there.
Yes. What about it?
Yeah, with Primordials. That was their name, Primordials. Yeah. Remember that there was like a magic puzzle where you're supposed to give magic of a specific type to a specific primordial?
Yes, that was to re-empower the Pantheon, to turn it on, essentially. And yes, and we did that.
Okay. How many types? How many types of magic are there?
There's like 6 schools.
I know necromancers because y'all don't like them, and we know.
There's evocation, conjuration, illusion, enchantment, abjuration, necromancy.
Illusion as well.
Didn't I say that?
Possibly, I'm not.
Okay, so illusion, necro.
Divination? Did you?
Oh, that one. I missed that one.
Okay, so I'll have to count again.
7.
There are 8.
8.
Divination, abjuration, enchantment, necromancy,
Enchantment. That's the illegal one.
illusion, conjuration, evocation, and transmutation.
Oh,
Transmutation.
it just makes a few marks in there. "45 degrees."
What?
Stop looking at the picture. What is this you're getting at?
Oh, no, I was just trying. I'll draw it on a piece of paper later. I think I
are
have
you
something in my head.
Oh, are you
In
still
my
talking
head.
about the shapes you were drawing earlier?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hey,
just got
Morgan's
the-
alive.
Who's alive?
Morgan's alive again.
She's just talking to Nahia through the bird, who is just
Well, the
wheezing in
bird is
Nahia's
alive again.
arms.
Burp is the word.
Yeah,
Does Boron get hungry?
No, Warren had a heart attack. He got better now.
But-
It's fine.
But does Boron get hungry?
Oh, yes.
He always hungers. He hungers for food and shiny things.
I see.
like I said, I'll show you later. Not on the
Okay.
ground, but just on like a parchment.
All right. Well, how about we have ourselves a talk with the lady of this temple, huh?
Fair thing.
This will be interesting.
Probably.
10 gold says she slaps us immediately. As soon as we walk in the door.
I'm not going to take any bets. I'd hate to jinx fate.
August will reach into his pocket. Well, I can take that bet. Like I said, she's the least bitchy of all of my relatives.
Hmm.
Present company excluded.
Wait, who you related to here?
Myself.
You know full well that you are way bigger of a bitch than you are giving yourself credit.
Hey,
He's currently an old man. I'm sorry, but that
him.
is default points.
Oh, him. I thought we were talking about me.
What? No, you're not related to.
No, Ursula, you're the littlest bitch here.
Yeah.
Let's get some thumbs up.
Head empty, heart rage.
Is there a specific title for a female bear?
Yes, I don't know what it is, but there is.
It is an Ursula.
Google says it's a sow or she bear.
Yeah, that's
Wait, no,
what I thought, but that's
Fucking she-bear.
unfortunate.
Wait, why the fuck is a male bear a boar? What?
Well, I mean, a sow is a female pig, so if you're gonna.
I know, and now I'm like,
Sure, you typed it incorrectly.
yeah, no,
No,
it's
what I got too.
No,
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm like, look at that. I'm reading that. This isn't a DCO reading cover. It's just right there.
Fucking lazy scientists were like, what are we gonna class this thing as? I don't know, it's kind of like a big pig. What?
Big hairy pig.
Look at this pig. Look at this fucking thing. We're already calling it a bear. Why would we also define it as a pig? It's four-legged. It has tusks. Shit, it doesn't have tusks. Fuck. Oh, I've already written it down. Oh, this is gonna be so bad later. Fucking tusk bears.
This is my favourite bit, but the groups of them are called sloths.
Of bears?
A sloth. So wait, is a sloth of pigs?
That's a good question. What the collective noun for pigs is?
If they chose sloth for that, then the scientists are just lazy. There's no other explanation for that.
A group of pigs is called a drift or a drove.
Oh shit! I did know that one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, the pigs are drifting.
Oh no, they're all Japanese.
Our answers were the same, as Trish.
Oh, don't be mean to Ursula. She's right there.
Yeah, don't
She's not
don't
a.
worry. It will literally go over her head.
Didn't go where you think it was going to go.
Anyway.
All right. I'm gonna forge on before this group falls into semantics.
So, is there anything you guys would like to do before you enter the audience chamber? There's a minute or so of walking before you get there.
I forget. Are we expecting a fight?
I am not.
Mean,
Then I will not chug down the potion of heroism.
I have a bet going that she is going to smack us as soon as we go walk in the door.
Okay.
I feel like all of the pre-potioning will, in fact, increase the odds of a fight happening.
All right. I'm remembering what you said last time.
That's not impossible. Yeah.
I mean, how do you? Okay.
We did do pre-potioning last time.
We did.
Yeah.
Some of us did, at least.
Yeah, but you did not get into a fight and then took a short rest, so at least any hour-long potions are now
I mean,
gone.
Also, how does one detect one being potioned up anyways?
She can literally watch us in this building.
Fair enough. Fine. I won't potion up for the sake of peace.
At worst, you have to spend a bonus action chugging it at the very, very start of a fight.
All my
No,
builds
tragic.
All my builds are bonus action.
Yeah, you are a monk, which is tragic, but you know.
Monkbarian. Speaking
Are
of
you
which,
a
you are
monk at the
in.
moment?
You're still going to be in Szooth, right?
Trying not to fight. I feel like it's easier to not do that if I'm an adorable kobold.
Okay, so during the rest, you can have popped back out to normal Szooth and grab that.
So once
token
again,
instead.
for the sake of peace,
it's monk time.
Hopefully no fighting, because I don't think I can get any of my magic items back from ashes.
Yeah, in the same time you're like deattuning from the suit, you can get all your stuff back onto you. That's fine.
Losing 2 hours to get out of your armor and actually then be still ready to do anything is brutal.
Yeah, no, that would be obnoxious.
Okay, I at least get the Constitution amulet back.
Yeah.
I assume the bacon doesn't just reform into a bow.
No, it remains whatever weapon it was, a glaive, I believe.
Yes, so I cannot use that. All right.
Yeah. It's okay though. You have a cool magic dagger instead.
I don't trust that thing, and you know that.
Look,
But DCL, why?
everyone here just needs to bite down on the pillow and trust your cursed magic daggers.
You. Huh? Yeah. All right, but yes, do get the ambulance. Think that was the only thing we had that was transferable. It was the amulet and sweeper. And it was the amulet and bacon.
And the thing we'd also like to ask for help with would be what Princess Kreshimira's ritual book. Because Talion cast all the May.
That is one of the reasons you are here. In fact, the only
Cool.
reason you're still here, technically, other than just to dick with us undead.
Yeah, well, I can't just leave her undead here after doing all of that. That feels like a real shit move on our part, or at least especially my part.
Yeah, Mori would be somewhat irate with you.
And swear to uphold a series of emotional and moral codes, and then immediately fuck off before seeing any of them out. It's not a strong start. I think that's how you lose your patron powers.
Yeah. So, yeah, Szooth is clamored out of his armor and trots along with the rest of the party. Just gonna not put him in the front of the party anymore. Just gonna have him out here in the cutie pile. Yeah, the group can proceed from the huge domed annex off to the audience hall. There are a pair of massive stone double doors, but as you approach, they open as if under their own power, leading you to a sweeping set of stairs and a narrow tunnel, and finally into another grand chamber. First
I'm
thing
hoping
you
Mithras didn't fucking hear too.
angry bird noises. The first thing you see is a massive colossus, much like the golden one outside, but this one is ensconced in pale blue light and mist. It lumbers at the stairs protectively, but behind it, at least those of you on the sides, can see a quite undead looking dragon, skeletal remains and leather, curled up much like a cat at the foot of a throne, on which is an elven woman. She's somewhat indistinct, shadowy, but you can see the resemblance to August, at least in the facial features. She's wearing a suit of plate armor and a great deal of black and gold jewelry, including a small tiara. And at her side is a long spear, very similar in a sense to Tarnavak's prior weapon. It's clearly gnarled with age, and it's as indistinct as she is, but you can see a keen edge upon it that is dripping with darkness.
Now, let's see here. I shall respectfully bow in greeting. Lady Autumn Star, we've come here with a request for an assistance and an offer of some of our own. Would you permit approach to have a talk with you without shouting across the hall?
If you can keep your weapons at your side, sure. Well, I do
But
hope
of
that
course.
offering you bring is on two legs. She'll glower at August. Yeah,
You
not this
meant
time.
Yes, you may notice that August's situation has changed. It permits me to walk up, and I suppose that means if a fight happens, then I probably get to destroy it first, so... Well, that's cool.
The huge colossus looms over you.
Wait patiently so that I don't get bopped, just triggering some reaction. Thank you.
Shuffles to the side.
Cat looks at the Colossus like with the like, I've been hit by bigger things.
I guess it'd be polite to stop at the bottom of the stairs.
That would probably be appropriate, yes. The dragon looks up from its curled position. Necrotic, poisonous gas is drooling from its maws. It makes a big old yawn and stretches out. Bits of leather tear and knit back together. But it remains seated for now.
Poor baby. Yes, Miss Autumn Star. I would like to be able to offer you an afterlife, a place away from being undead. For you and all those that you care about in us all. Without becoming the violence and without risk of a lost eternity.
Oh, is that all? Well, I suppose I should have put up a sign for no solicitors outside. Or the fool me.
Well, don't want to hear the good and holy word. I'm sorry, that sounds incredibly callous, but at the same time, are you happy as you are here?
I'm happy. What the hell kind of question is that?
Obviously, the
Gestures
answer is
around at
not.
this rotting structure, her hand resting on the corpse dragon's head. Does this look like a place of happiness, Paladin?
No, but I would be interested in, if not changing this place to be so, then to escorting you to a place that doesn't suck terribly.
Sits back, crosses a leg over the other. Well, if I didn't know what faith you were before, I do now. A shame what happened to your goddess. She will continue to stare past you at August as she says that.
And yet, despite all that, I will, it's as cool as it would be to have the real superpower in reserve, I will put out an almond call on the aspect of the raven instead. And sort of, as I hold out one arm, it will do a little raven cloak drape out, and I'll pull my hand away, and there will be a Morrigan standing there.
Alright, yeah, you can extend a hand, and indeed, from your shadow steps an elf. Is still quite fond.
Indeed, the Morrigan lives yet again.
So I
Her
see.
home,
Oh, do go on.
indeed, her home in the dream, however, rests still mostly empty. And some of her aspects are more in keeping with certain mysteries that I imagine even Talion would have been quite interested in. The arcanum that is time itself.
Ah, yes, of course. I suppose if you can't find your own divinity, you might as well steal someone else's.
It wasn't so much stolen as rescued in this instance.
I'm sure. Just as a thief says he rescues jewels from the grave.
Don't think anyone says that without actually a huge, tremendous shit-eating grin on their face.
And Time's previous keeper was broken before the Morrigan was restored even to the status of demigod. She had no part in that.
Indeed, such as it was when we went to this broken place of time, the Morgan was incapable of following along with us, because divinity would not permit her to be in two such places at once.
Fine. So you have a god back. That's nice. If you want to go refurbishing the temple, feel free, but stay out of the labs. I can't take your offer yet. I have things left unfinished here.
Is there something unfinished instead that we might be able to assist you with? Because it would be a terror to come to blows or even disagreements.
She looks from you to August and then to Morgan, shakes her head. No, I don't think there's a single one of you who would be interested in helping me. Not really.
Well, I mean, if you're going to keep it a secret, then there's definitely no way of knowing. But you can't expect us to come in, sweep up, leave, and you are left then for an eternity wondering if you could have had assistance.
I don't want your help. Not right now, anyway.
If not now, then when? Because I am willing to assist in that matter indefinitely.
When I'm done here. I imagine it's been a few years since my corporeal death. But still, Talion's work calls me. I cannot leave this place yet. And
What
all of
work
you
might
are
that be?
diametrically opposed to what I do. It would be best if you left, but half of this temple is her father's. Won't deny you your birthright, Ravenat. Where his ears will do a little twitch. He'll say, I'm not here for my birthright, priestess. I'm here to remove undead from the premises. You can't just be left here. You know that. Sina just laughs. Really now, can't I?
No, because it is far too lonely and painful.
That's my choice to make. I'll endure pain if I must.
When your work is done, whatever it may be, will you then go on willingly?
If that is Talion's will, then so be it. I cannot savor this existence, but I will do as my God commands, in life and in death, his and mine.
Do you want to suffer so? And is that work here that's being done or needs to be done something that can't be done in the dream?
No, it can't. And if you have to ask that first question, you clearly don't know very much about Talion.
Okay, no, I just wanted to try and appeal to a sense of other. If it seems that we might be at an impasse, then I wonder if your curiosity instead might be piqued to be involved with the resolution of one of his last works.
She arches an eyebrow. Go on.
We hold with us the ritual book. Talion's faithful, the Princess Kreshimira. An individual who, much akin to yourself, is left in a state of incompleteness with Talion's passing. However, her state of being would be one of curses, because that matter cannot be resolved. There is no one who can speak for his will in her place. Obviously, August is quite on the outs with Talion, as it were, even before his passing. I believe that makes you the foremost authority on your god's last words. His
say that.
ages-long curse was broken very long ago, but it has been left with the spirits of the damned. They are unable to be freed.
When you say that, her lips curl up. Really? I'm it, huh? Surely there's a church left somewhere.
I am sorry, but no. This is the last known church, and we have checked. There is no consecration left about this place.
It has been 1,000 years, Lady Autumn Star. Though I understand that you may have lost their count.
1,000 years. Fuck. Felt like a century at most.
I am afraid not. Although we appear with the pale and fey forms of Morrigan and August as you see them here, elves of this land are more reminiscent of Tassie now.
What's a Tassie?
Gesture at Hashat's thick wife.
As he'll step out from the shadow and wave. Seen his eyes narrow. August, you chode. What have you done to our people? August is going to bite his lip for a moment. Tassie will say, he didn't do anything. We went and hid underground for a while. But that's all. Can't believe I'm defending him. Ugh.
It's very weird, isn't it?
It is. Indeed, there's no matter of good about things that August himself has been up to, but a great life and lost love have done a lot of things to change a person, and indeed guide one to a redemption in a better way.
Oh, please. There's no
Say it.
redeeming him.
Well, no, but at the very least one can try. The effort of doing something about it is better than wallowing in misery and letting such cycles of sadness, death, and defeatism just continue unabated. The effort sometimes is better than a result, even if you think it is zero-sum.
That's like she says. There is little in redeeming him. Little in the effort, at least. But trying to get revenge or justice for what's been done is so impossible that it would only be selfish to strike him down.
Oh, I don't know. If the rest of you got out of the way, I think I could do a pretty good job.
It's less a matter of if one could try at this point. It's more a matter of if one should. He frankly does more good alive to the world at this point than he does dead.
And his loss would hurt others undeserving of such pain. There are families yet involved who are reliant indeed on his existence.
As much as the karmatic balance is deeply, deeply unbalanced in the case of our friend August here, there's no point in balance. There's no balance that's brought to those scales by killing him. It's simply not something that we can do at this point. Not something that.
Here's sort of when you think about the balance there, it's like if you kill him, it will never slowly be pushed back even a little bit. It will just stay there. No good will ever come from it.
If anything,
All he has now, like they will probably say in better words, is he has the time left to do good. That's pretty much his penance.
If anything, he's been doing rather remarkably well recently. Not killing people, reducing his horrible comments to simple snark, being a good family man. Why, a few more years of this, and we might actually have him an adventurer going about doing random acts of good for the sake of it.
Ah, good, I'm glad. Being a nice person now makes up for... What? How many elves are left, I wonder? We don't
Trust
breathe
me.
very quickly, after all. Not to mention, you know, the god.
As it's been said, this is not a matter of making up for, but at least endeavoring to. That balance is always going to be heavily weighted against, but to not try at all means that there is never any change or any improvement. A death in Requiem brings absolutely nothing.
We're
And
trying to
so,
push his legacy in a positive direction, rather than just simply ending it and causing a more of a spiral of misery and suffering.
indeed, you are one such place in this spiral as it turned before coming here. Without August's information, we indeed would not have known that you yourself were an Autumn Star, or that you had been so liberally wronged. It may never feel like amends, but it can at least feel like something.
What I'd like right now is to feel his lifeblood slip through my fingers, but I don't give myself particularly good odds against you, so I'll let that slide for now.
There are worse reasons than not killing for not attacking Lord Winter than just the fact that you lose that fight.
Not of other people lose. But yes, Lady Autumn Star. Can we help you, and would you be willing to help the people of Minotha, so that they can at least find their rest? They have been waiting for a very long time. And I think that they have marked every year as it's passing. Not a mere century.
I'm not sure they can mark time at all. They're so stupid now, but perhaps.
Oh, that curse in particular is broken. Unfortunately, yes, it is their ghosts that are quite trapped. But it is to us they entreat it.
It'll get you to go away. What do you need me to help with?
The ritual tome. Only one of Talion's own can read it. And in it, there'll be the secret of their crime and the recompense owed, so that they may finally be freed.
She sighs and I'd say heft herself to her feet, but there's no sound or effort involved. Rises with eerie ease, despite all her armor. Takes a couple of steps forward. The dragon also pads along at her side. A ritual book. Fine. Hand it over.
Okay. Ooh, excuse me.
Don't worry, you just walk over her.
Hold on real quick. I'd like to insight her. Just see if she is actually going to help or if she is just going to burn it in front of us.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, go ahead.
We had at least bitchy, but it's a sliding scale.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll spend my inspo on this.
Sick. Or you could roll a 19 and an 18.
So with a 25, she's clearly quite nervous. The rest of the party can't detect it easily. She's stonewalling pretty well, but even in her undead state, you can see facial features betraying her fear. Not necessarily of you coming up and doing her a violence, but she's nervous about something going on. And the book You think she thinks that's her best way of just getting you to go away. No, you doubt she'd burn it. No, she'll take it and do her best to give you what you want so you leave.
Hmm.
Just wants done with you.
All right. I don't think that's a point I need to press right now. So
Character.
just
Oh! I think I figured it out. Out of character. That's completely out of character.
No.
yeah,
Then
I
what
have
reason-
I have a strong suspicion as well.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said nervousness, it's like, yes, there it clicked.
So,
Want me to write it out?
up to you.
Okay.
Hashat, do you hand over the book?
I will approach with the book in hand, and I will kneel down to be on her level. My people have borne a curse for unnumbered years. While our living members are free of what we were damned to be, the souls in Dalmanotha are still suffering. If you can help us help them, it'd be most appreciated. I want to see the souls of my people free from their torment.
Fine. If that's what you want, give it here.
Yes, I'll hand over the book.
Right? She won't take it. It sort of passes slightly into her hands before she solidifies enough to grasp it firmly. Takes a couple of steps back, flips it open in the crook of her arm, leaves through it. This is old work. Very old and coded. I suppose I should say old by my standards, even. Our priesthood had a cipher, but we change it every few years. This is long out of date. But you are in luck. There is a library here. We keep archives of priestly missives. I've done what I can to keep it in functional shape. We're not Candanites, but to see information wrought away in front of my eyes was unpleasant. There may be enough down there to recreate the cipher. She snaps the book closed and extends it back towards Hashat.
Okay, take it back.
Through the eastern hall, you'll find the library. One of the other spirits bound here is the librarian. Lucky for you. Talk to the old man if you want. Tell him you have Elsina's blessing. If you can pierce that time-addled skull of his, perhaps he can show you to what you need. If not, just gather up whatever looks important and bring it back.
Is there anything then that could be done for you if you're willing to help?
We can talk about it later.
Very well. I promise we'll be back in shorter than 1,000 years.
Oh, joy. Did you...
Well, I don't live that long, so
As so you begin to turn to leave, you hear a click from the elf. She stands back up. Wait,
Hmm.
there is something you can do for me. Expedite my fulfilling my duties here. In the library there is an illusory wall. It leads down into Talian's temple, the actual sanctum. My corporeal remains are down there. I haven't been able to get at them. Something about Horace's physical body repels my touch, but there is something on my rotted skeleton I would very much like to have back. My holy symbol. Looks like a pentagram. Can't miss
Oh,
it.
of
Made of
course.
platinum.
Have you any uh, coffins or mausoleums or anything that you would like your remains interned into
Mm.
while we are there? It would be a shame to, well, leave you fallen.
There
Indeed,
were
for any of the remains here.
burial plots up on top near the altar of the sun. I don't much care what happens to the remains, but if you feel compelled to inter me, I will not be displeased.
I find myself quite compelled, actually.
well,
I'm
of
sure
course we'll do that for you. Like everyone deserves a little bit peace.
my remains aren't
You see,
depriving me of peace, except that they taunt me with my inability to touch them.
Hmm.
right?
What?
You can't touch your body. Well, if we bring it here, can you touch your body then?
No, she just wants the holy symbol back. Her own bones would reject her because the form she took was a wraith, not a zombie or a lich
Oh,
or vampire, etc.
okay.
So indeed, we shall bury them in the finest plot that can be found.
Do as you
You
please.
seem nice enough.
But a word of warning. Down in the temple, there's a sealed chamber. Don't go trying to open it. That's my lab.
Indeed.
She squints at you for a moment. Are you
I
serious?
squint. I squint back
All
when
right.
she says, "Please don't go in the sealed room, the lab."
All right. Well, will the 24-hour tell you? But first, since she gave you the squints first, are you serious about like? Okay, I won't do that. And if not, roll
Yeah,
me.
I don't think unless I'm suddenly given cause to be like genuinely concerned, I'm not about to go invading a person's last privacy.
Okay.
That'd be like someone saying, make sure, like, don't go checking out my
Don't go
browser
finding-
history, my browser history when I die.
Yeah. Oof. So with the nat 20, there is a brief but severe moment of concern that passes over her face when she seems to remember that that lab is down there. Severe enough that you would guess that she thinks that you might try and come kill her if you do open it.
Well,
Mm,
I mean, I already wanted to handle this non-lethally. So let's go about this all in the right order and not punch into what might trigger a boss fight before we've done everything we came here for.
Okay.
If anything, she gets like just the smallest quirk of an eyebrow before I will shrug and nod.
She'll wave you off and sit back into her throne. Skeleton dragon will shuffle back and rest its head in her lap. Get pats.
Ash the stub of a cigar out into the rest of my tail until there's no marks, and then press to digitate the remains away.
Alright, let's move on, I guess.
Mhm.
Move.
Let's see. Is there anything dangerous down there where we are to look for these things?
Well, there's a bunch of ghosts, wraiths. Be on your best behavior and they might not try and murder you. Or they will. I don't know. I'm not their boss.
Well, if they do, then apologies in advance, but they'll be dispatched. We've come here in peace, and if they cannot keep to the same.
Like I said, I'm not in charge of them. They do as they please. And
Are
by
they
please,
as...
I mean, they're insane.
Ah.
Hmm.
They are not as lucid as you.
Shit.
No.
Everything went
there's-
dark.
Oh, fucking Roll20 piece
happened?
of shit. I turned dynamic lighting on another map, and yeah.
That makes more sense.
Oh my god, my lighting didn't change until I mouse wheel scrolled up and then down. The game was like suddenly, oh, dynamic lighting! And it just switched on. I'm like, huh? Wait, what?
Yes. I
Oh, yeah.
scrolled and then like everything went
Yeah.
black. So what the fuck
Amazing.
just happened?
Look, Roll20's vision is based on movement. Okay?
Yeah, fuck,
Fuck.
All
yeah.
that was.
It's retarded.
But
Really true.
Right. So Elsina was saying, most of them have gone quite mad with the passage of age. Pity that. There is one who's more or less still got her wits about her. And then there's a librarian who's... Well, he wasn't particularly sane to begin with. Good luck.
Okay, so we've got some lunatic ghosts.
Oh, we got a librarian of our own, so at least you could probably find stuff by lecturings.
Does Battalionite Thoth use the same sorting system as the ancient dragons?
She will ponder that a moment. I have honestly no idea how library sorting works.
Saris? What do you know?
Saris will blink after she turn her attention away from the arcane colossus she was studying. Oh, yes, it's likely that I can sort through the library. Even if they don't use our organizational system, they will have some system. If the librarian's half as crazy as she makes him out to be, then it'll probably be a pretty good one.
Excellent.
She returns to
Let's
taking
see.
charcoal rubbings of the golem.
Who's the best of us to deal with those things down there?
Did you just ask who's the best of us to deal with ghosts?
I mean, the ones downstairs. I'm trying to decide what to do.
I'm sorry. Are you missing the two paladins right here, Kina?
Whoa. I'm not a paladin. I'm just paladin adjacent these days.
No, there
I'm
are in fact
legendary
two paladins here.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. I guess
Yeah.
Mario's class is paladin.
We have
Two-
two paladins, a cleric, and
Celestial Warlock?
Yeah, that's the one. I
Celestial
think
you guys are- I have to
Warlock
pick-
with
I have to pick 3 people to buff, though. So
what does the buff
If it's
do?
a buff that
Yeah.
lets me hit, I'll take everything you got.
it'll let you take more hits.
That's also probably good. I have 119 health, and I suspect that it is less than Tarn and Ursula by a large margin.
I mean,
Oh.
5, actually.
Oh,
I have 150 and 10 pen.
Zooth is going to start to trundle off and and wave at you guys as one of you sees him going. It was like,
I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my suit if we're going to go into actual combat.
sure. How about we go down to the library so that you
Let's-
can be there in conversation while you're climbing in? Yes. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you'll get
let's
quite
get
lonely
that
sat
one.
at the altar.
Yeah, let's go get ready.
Yeah, I can literally just carry while he is tuning in.
tune in.
I guess I could do it to 6 people instead. Not be as strong.
Yeah, what buff are you throwing there, Kina? You haven't really said what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Aid. Well, Hashat's not gonna cast Aid. Valera's gonna cast Aid.
Oh yeah, that's not a concentration either, which is
It's
good.
not, no. So she and Hashat are going to expend 2 first level spell slots. I mean, 5th level spell slots.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man, if you look at, for example, the secondary effect of Beacon of Hope, you're gonna love it. Especially you.
I know what it does.
I forget how much. How long does the potion of heroism last?
And
I
now
believe
we're
it's an
only
hour.
Okay, I'm gonna want to chug it.
once you're inside.
Yeah, once I'm
the
yeah.
extra-
Obviously, I'm not gonna just drink the kobold and then drink it as a kobold and go like, ah, yes, this will power my mech suit.
I think Val
gonna
needs to
fucking feel
stretch
like this.
her muscles so to get the power actually working. So we need to let her do some stuff.
So you guys can take yourselves a brief respite to get Szooth back into his golem.
Get him back to the robot. No dads needed to yell at me.
As Dragon God intended. Alright. So, yeah, you can make your way down to the library. It's pretty much right off the annex. Just takes a couple minutes to get there, but you can chill out in the statuary for a bit while Szooth's doing his thing, and you take any pre-buffs you feel compelled to. And then we proceed on. Oh, that is not a place for a shot. There you go.
Was she briefly wool shot?
Yes, she was briefly standing in a wall shot.
So Nahia, Tarnavak, Morrigan, August, Szooth, and Tassie are all going to get 20. Are going to get 20. Their maximum hit points increased by 20.
I'll take it.
Sweet.
Oh, it's max HP and not temp. Okay, that's
It's
double
max
good.
HP
Oh,
increase.
that's good. I'm just gonna put a 20 on my front bar anyway, just so I don't have to change my real ass stats.
Okay.
I-
Let's see.
There we are. I'm functionally at 139 while I've got my celestial buff in place, which is
Right.
pretty good.
Also, Scout, you should have control of Mori. It's her Raven
I do.
Knight stat. Yeah. Even though she's back to being blonde Mori. Thanks, Mom.
It's fine. How low are the ceilings in here? Can she shoulder ride still?
No. It's
Okay.
you are back to Hashat scraping her horns levels.
Aww.
Although, actually, before you guys get in there is one other thing that happens. Shortly after you return to the annex, sit around for a moment. A figure is going to step out of the shadows and approach you. At
Would this
first,
be the old man librarian?
no, in fact, it is not. It is a quite voluptuous-looking woman wearing a black and white robe, but she bears a symbol on her chest of Mithras.
Oh,
She gives you a smile and bows politely.
Is she corporeal?
She looks corporeal, but Tarn, you see the same sort of mechanical motions or mechanical effect to her motions that would suggest that she is a programmed illusion.
well,
Oh well.
This is an illusion that may still be, but may still be of some value, especially if one of the more sane inhabitants is controlling them.
a pleasure. Mithras is great.
She smiles, and Moriel quirk her ears and say, "Ah, Mother's sending us a helper. How lovely."
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Hmm. This temple was constructed when Mother and Father were a inseparable pair.
Hmm.
It seems she still has some power here. Suppose
I
that's why
wonder,
she
is this
could
place?
manifest.
Yeah, is this place gradually reconsecrating then in the mixed presences?
It might be, at least if I stay here a while.
That would mean being bereft of yours for a time. That would be a shame.
It would.
That, and who would also keep you out of ghost punching trouble?
Well, ideally there won't be any ghosts here to punch when we're done.
Fair point.
That said, as much sentimental value as this place may have to Mother, I don't particularly fancy staying here just for the sake of it. She can
No,
send some priests if she wants.
a fair point. I
Or,
suppose you don't have many well-constructed memories from being Jews, so... It's Nahia, like, you could tell, only just barely, like, restrained herself and was polite enough to say juice instead of semen. Because that would have been
What?
infinitely more embarrassing. Well, yeah, because last time Mori was here inside these halls, she was still spunk. This is where she was conceived.
Oh.
Mori will do a little huff and say, I've been here between then and now.
No, that is true. That is why you have such a wonderful and lovely statue.
Yes, I'm quite capable of visiting my father's temples on my own. Now, let us...
Did you ever bring her over?
once or twice. Why, do you think we'll find some artifact of hers she dropped in some giddy exaltation?
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her from expectations. Flighty as she may be, I half expect as we look through the stacks, we find a little booklet of hers.
Well, that's possible, I suppose. We'll keep an eye out.
That. Yeah, I guess I'll. Should we head forward and see if this librarian shows himself, or do we just split up and look for clues, so to speak?
I can see him already.
Oh, I would gesture at Tailflame. My point of vision is about out there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
stops, like, right in front of his desk.
Oh, I'll be damned. Yeah, it's worth getting used to. While Mori was a direct Raven blessing as opposed to the source of celestial eminence, I had dark vision. That was quite convenient. I'd say if there were one thing I was sad to leave behind, it was that.
I see. Well, shall we?
Ah.
Just a moment.
Mhm.
I'm going to cast another spell on myself. This time, I'm going to cast this.
Oh, it's an hour. Neat. God, seeing that it's concentration just reminds me of how bad baseline it is that all of your casted smites are concentrations.
Yep.
It was a real nice change of Savin to give you, because otherwise it just inundates basically the class.
I'm going to take. Well, I mean, it's Valera. That's fire.
If you go with lightning, would you get something glowier? Because I think bringing a fire into the library might piss off this librarian.
Yeah, okay, lightning probably is a smarter choice.
You can choose when it hits.
No.
No, it's when you cast.
No, it does damage when it hits, but no, you have to choose when you cast it.
It also turns my weapon is now a +2 weapon. 2. Oh, that's the wrong button.
You just kill your new minion. Congratulations.
Oh god, I didn't even notice he was there. Oh geez.
Hmm.
You just spawn more.
Spectres in the side halls as well. Come up to the desk.
Oh, I can't see a goddamn thing in here. I'm casting light.
Yeah, like I was saying, gonna come up to the desk and say in a low, respectful voice, "Hail, are you the librarian?"
There is an ancient-looking man, probably human at one point, sitting back there with a pair of... They look like Szooth spectacles, but they are much cruder and with tremendous crystal lenses attached to his cap. He'll look up from his book with a start. "Ah, wah! Who the devil are you? What are you doing here at this hour?"
I am called Tarnavak. I am a scholar from a distant land.
Are you in dragon form right now, or gobbo form?
Dragon form.
Brian will lift up his spectacles and squint. "Ah, yes, of course. A lovely couple from Lyris. Some time since we've seen some of your esteemed presences here. Yes, yes. What can I do for you, my good sir and madam, and terrifying construct creature?"
We have come into possession of an old ritual book of Italianite faith. Yeah. I've got brain. Yes. The Lady Elsina, a bishop, has asked. Well, she has agreed to its translation, but the cipher predates her. We would ask your aid in finding cipher tomes from the appropriate era.
Cipher translation tomes. I don't know if we have anything of that nature here. We have ciphers and tomes of translation, but we aren't meant to combine the two. That would defeat the whole purpose, don't you think?
Indeed, at least if they were given freely. But we are bound by honor to allow not to use them ourselves, only to deliver them to the bishop, and she will provide us the translation.
I believe Elsina mentioned that we had to inform him of her permission.
I already did.
I just never heard her name being said.
Hell, permission or not, good Lady Bishop could come down here and say something herself. It's been weeks since we've been graced with her presence. Weeks, I tell you. We are the faith of the book, not the faith of the riding around on dragons scaring the shit out of peasants. But what do I know, I suppose?
You must forgive her. You know she is busy with her works.
Oh, yes, of course.
We have been blessed to receive this small measure of attention.
Yes, her great work. Oh, yes. I'm sure that's very important. Can't come down and see her old uncle once in a while. No, that would be entirely too beneath her. Come, let's see this book of yours.
Hashat?
Oh, yes, of course. I will present the book.
Librarian will just take the book from you, turn around back towards his desk, pause, turn back around and look at you. My word, you're a large one, aren't you?
I am the mightiest Minotaur who has ever Minotaured. Maybe.
I don't doubt it. With such tremendous stature and human features. Remarkable. Wait a minute. What is it you're having translated here again?
It is an old book of Talionite ritual.
And what would a Minotaur want with Talionite rituals? Our faith has lost its truck with her kind. Sad as it is to say.
That, my friend, is the purpose of it, of the translation. They have grievously offended Talion, there is no doubt of that, but there are those among them who wish to end that schism. Hashat is one of those. They have suffered for their crime. Now, we believe with this tome they shall be able to make it right.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would not be party to some species-wide murder-suicide pact. You can't end it all like that. Even if the good Lord's rituals are that powerful.
What do you mean, suicide pact?
Oh, you bring Lord's ritual books down here and tell me you wish to end the suffering of a whole people. I cannot be party to such horrors. Unthinkable. Unthinkable.
Not through the mercy of death, no. The mercy of true salvation.
Ah, you wish to save their souls, yes. I understand. Of course, of course. Well, it's a bit strange to come to the library when the priests are down below, but then again, I suppose if you are to convert someone to save their souls in Talion's name, what better place to start than a library full of spell books and rituals? Yes.
Indeed, this very tome was once belonged to a minotaur who was of the faith. It held significance for her. It may be able to the wisdom and power within, it may reach them more easily than some of Talion's other works.
Ah, you must speak of Drehomira's daughter. Yes. A great warrior mage of the faith she was. Terrible, terrible, terrible fate. Oh, poor child. Poor child. Librarian will take the book, delicately set it on his desk, and flip the first couple pages open. Oh my, this book seems to be quite blank. Oh, that's a bit of a bother. You sure you've brought the right thing?
Ah. Then, friend, are you not an ordained member of the faith?
I am a lay member of the clergy. I'm no cleric. That is not entirely true. I have a bit of magic to my fingers, but no traveling priest in armor and war spells. Still, this book is quite blank. I do not understand how that could be. It must have picked up the wrong volume.
It is one of good Talion's great tomes, and only one who is fully joined with him, an ordained clergyman, can actually read it. It is part of why we came here to seek the bishop's counsel.
Well, that's deeply offensive. God would hide his lore from a librarian. Really, I think he's taking a bit of a cue from Kandarn these days. And we'll close the book and slide it back across the desk. I'm afraid I cannot help you myself, but perhaps the 3 sages inside may offer some wisdom.
I see. Can you direct us to them, then?
Oh, yes, of course. They're just through there. He points at the wall behind him. Just go around. You can't miss them. They're not going anywhere.
And if they cannot aid us, the Tomes of Cipher that Bishop Elsina requested.
Tomes of Cipher. I know Tomes of Cipher. We don't use this for collecting lore. This is temple speak. It's for missives and bookkeeping. I don't understand why someone would make a spell book out of this. It's quite strange, really. Like they didn't want anybody outside the faith to find out what's inside, which, again, starting to feel like Kandarn's in charge around here sometimes. Down in the temple below, you'll find the archives of the faith. Mostly boring material, unfortunately. No great lore is kept down there, just taxes mostly.
I see. Thank you, my friend.
Of course. I will be here if you'd like to check out a book instead of just tax returns from Valen.
Felonies, tax returns? Huh. Oh, apropos of nothing, which wall has the entrance to the chapel on it?
A what?
The sanctum, sorry.
Oh, it's just due north of here. You can't miss it.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Should have a big sign out. Suppose I'm not the only one with poor eyesight these days.
Yes, I'm afraid that I have a terrible case of sign blindness. It was an old curse placed upon me by a hag.
Oh, terrible thing that.
Yeah.
How do you know which bathroom to use? That must be
Oh,
terribly
that's the
embarrassing.
good thing is that I can actually thankfully use both.
Ah, of course. That's
That.
smart. That's what I would do in your shoes too. Just grow both parts.
Indeed.
At this point, I feel like you're bullying the poor Earl, man.
Bullying me?
What?
No! There's the bull! He points at Hashat.
Just
See, it's
making
too
light.
easy.
It's just light conversation, so. Alright, thank you very much for your time, librarian.
Time. I have all the time in the world till I die of old age.
Let's
Well,
be nice to this.
that might well surprise.
Sir Librarian, would it be
Madam
possible to make
Giant
a
Cow.
contribution to the collection?
Oh, why, yes, of course. We are happy to take donated books. I wish I could say that they could be compensated, but alas, the coffers have dried up for the year, what with the disturbances in the north. Terrible shame that.
Oh, that's fine. Here, I came across this tome here. You can feel free to add it to the collection.
Over on the desk. Ah, Galen Avas. What a majestic king. Ruled only 100 years. Well, I say king. How familiar are you with elven politics? It's quite fascinating. By that I mean the most boring shit I've ever read, but still. Interesting system of sub-kings under a high Queen Autumn Star. Anyway, yes, thank you. Who is a Carista Belmaris? I've never heard of her before. Is she accredited?
I believe this is one of her first publications.
Well, Shame to see it already in such rough condition, but, well, I understand adventurers and keeping things nice and pristine are antithetical to one another, but
It can be hard sometimes.
yes. We often have your type come through trying to get books rebound. Profitable business, that, but terribly tedious.
Perhaps this one should. It is a first edition.
It is, yes. To see new historians at their craft, marvelous. I will give this one a read myself. Sets the tome down and begins reading.
Nod my head to him and yeah.
Saris will turn, take a couple steps, and look up at Hashat. Why are you leaving that perfectly good book here? We should be salvaging tomes.
Well, I figured it might give him a measure of peace. He's a librarian, after all.
Put these ghosts to rest here. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
he
leave
could
that to the
read.
Morgan.
Yeah, and he can read happily and in peace until at the moment. I imagine that his part of the reason why the Lady Autumn Star is so convinced he's lost his marbles is because a librarian has sat here without any kind of new inputs for 1,000 years. Giving an old man a last thing to enjoy before they all find their peace seems fitting to me.
Well, that's just downright sweet.
Hashat is very thoughtful.
Saris will reach up and give you a big pat on the shoulder.
I'm not as brutish as I appear to be.
Oh, hey, don't put words in my mouth. You look like a big sweetheart. You are all friend-shaped.
That fair, yeah.
All right, let's find these sages.
One of the ghostly mages will sort of stumble up to Nahia and thrust out a book at her, a spectral book, really part of his last living memories. He babbles something at you, incoherent, a jumble of arcane formulae and random historical facts. He points emphatically at the book and then at you.
This one I'm having more trouble with. Let's see here. Well, I shall crouch down to eye level and take a peek at this book, as opposed to try and take it from his hands, just in case it, him seeing it phase through my hands distresses him. I'll just crouch down to read what he's holding up.
Yeah.
Well, you could say that he's trying to help you by directing.
Could be. Don't know for sure. So I'm playing it careful.
No, I was trying to advantage, but I was muted.
Oh.
Since it's actively trying to help.
It's fine. I don't need advantage. I'm happy to wing it and accept misreading a situation.
So this book appears to be a spell book, not any great tome of lore. Looking at it, you're familiar enough with arcane casting to see that it's a wizard's tome, but alas, the runes and scripts within it are a jumble that shifts with every passing second of his shadowy form.
Tell you what, I still have a large book full of recorded spells. I'm going to write down for him True Seeing and then hand him the paper.
All right. Takes that from you, looks at it. He will raise up one hand and hold the scroll in the other, and he casts it like a scroll, even though you haven't spent, hours enchanting the thing. His eyes flash. He looks at the lot of you, his jaw drops, runs and just hides in a corner.
Ah, I should have. I'm glad I didn't do what I was originally thinking, which was considering Adelmind.
I don't
What's
know,
his
that might have
deal?
been a kinder fate.
Well, possibly. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see what other. Oh, I know what I'll show them next time. I'll hold up the book so Saris can see what I've got underlined. It is Massive Milky Memories.
I hope there's a female mage down here. Having that cast on a beardy old man would be...
That is true.
Eh.
But yes, you're welcome to copy this into your book should you keep one.
Um,
Heartily recommended. Incredibly powerful spell created in recent years.
I'm sure it's very, powerful. Mostly for Hashat. I'll be
What
fine,
about me?
thank you.
Oh,
Are you talking about me?
it's because I was showing her the spell Massive Milky Memories, which is what you already have in abundance.
I think I've already got that covered.
I am,
That and your deafness all when the halls ring with the sound of an ecstatic moo.
Moo.
yes,
That.
Moo. I'm quite happy with my figure. Chose it myself.
Okay, good point.
You know, it feels really good to moo. There's something about it. It just feels so nice.
Oh, it feels so good to me. That fucking pick, Jack.
That's what I heard too.
Oh, I understand that. It feels incredible to actually roar like a proper dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Oh,
get it all out there.
I feel
Right?
bad that I don't have an exaltation like that.
Isn't the exaltation of your people squatting on a street corner and sipping vodka?
No, that is obviously for input as opposed to output. That's why you do it in groups so that you can discuss amongst each other.
Ah, yes,
It's
of
the
course,
equivalent of
fascinating.
meditation as opposed to a megaphone.
Then do you not have the renowned Suka Bliat as your exaltation?
Ah, how did you know about that?
I've heard you
That's
say
supposed-
it.
Okay, that is true. I must have been quite drunk at the time. Yes, that's an Ervenanism that my family is shocked that I could not get the habit out of my system. Otherwise, Manders hiss, and I shall pointedly press my tongue flat to the bottom of my mouth and hiss. But it's not quite so satisfying. Instead, it sounds more like the sexual come on.
Oh wow, nah, I didn't know you could talk like that, Nahia.
As he watches after this.
Oh, true, fair, good point.
Saris also has a slight flush to her cheek.
Huh. Did not know. Okay.
I was more making the joke that you hissed something and all
This
else.
is incredibly lewd.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other scalies also find it lewd.
Huh. Clear my throat and carry on with the walk. Oh goodness.
Oh, I think I found the sages.
Oh, that's good. I hope. I presume that it's good.
It's something, all right.
Oh, hey! Well, those are some familiar faces. All three of them, in fact. Huh. Hey,
Yes.
Hashat.
So, in this room, it seems to be a reading room of sorts. There are large benches set out and tables, and at the head of the room there are 3 statues, a tad bit larger than life, each of them, but their features are immediately familiar to you. There is Gawain Autumnstar II, there is the Queen of Minotha, Drahamira, and there is her dragonness herself, Saris. Each of the figures has her hands outstretched and cupped as if to receive a book. Wow, they really gave me big tits in this one.
See, the spell is incredible.
It's more like elves are lewd.
They are.
What? Elves are a proud and noble race.
Ooh,
Cassie comes around the
hey.
corner with her hands up Hashat's skirt. What's going on?
Proud and noble.
This library
Yeah.
may not be in the best condition, but please do restrain yourselves.
I'll try.
I just looks up at Ceres from down below and be like,
Oh, hey, look, it's a statue.
Are you sure,
all
Hashat?
these
I would just cast mirror image here. Sarah's little jazz hands.
Wait, are these the sages?
Well, there's 3 of them, and they're all powerful, well-renowned wizards and arcanists and scholars.
But how is there
And
2
me.
of you?
Sarah just turns to the pillar in front of her and just headbutts it. Thump.
Are they, like, intelligent? They have to wake them up?
Hashat, they're
Did you break?
statues.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
but how do they actually function?
What's book in hands?
That's what I would assume.
Hey, in fact, hey Hashat, you happen
Yes.
to have literally gesture at Sage her book in your hands. I wonder what happens if you put that in it.
It's a good
Will
question.
you get the appropriate cipher or some kind of special like Easter egg?
Maybe. So I guess I'll put it in her hands.
Oh, that's Krishna's mom. Okay, right. Sorry.
Hold on, let me grab the old princess right quick. Nothing.
I just remembered that there was maximum cutie moves, but of course they're all cutie moves. So how could I possibly find judgment anywhere?
It's true.
That's right. Crusher Mirror was like a large-sized token. Oh no, she
she's
wasn't.
just
She was a
little,
Nomi.
little
Huh.
mini one.
Little Moo.
Yeah, she's a little blonde bimbo moo.
Oh, precious.
She is. She's a cutie.
Precious little spook flake.
So yes, you put the book down, and do you put it closed or open in the statue's hands?
Open?
Okay. You
I'd like you to do it on the first page, just in case, like in the front, it's got that typical like, as a gift for my daughter, love mum, etc.
Sure.
okay. So you set the book open on its first page. Weirdly, there's none of that usual effort required to like keep a book open right at the front. The spine just seems to naturally snap open in this statue's hands. And for the briefest moment, you see the eyes of the statue flick downward, and the mouth opens. It's not a natural motion. It clicks open like a nutcracker, almost. And nothing happens. And the statue click closed.
A shame. I guess it can't read cipher. It'll probably be too easy.
I'll try with the other statues, though.
You know, out there somewhere, some fucking horny acolyte gave them a book that's just the letter O over and over and over again, just so the statue keeps its mouth open.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, Gilwin does look pretty kissable, but still.
Look at it, she's
Goddamn.
got them smooches. But yes, no, I'll give Gale win instead. In honored memory, her favorite thing ever, a residium joint.
So, what book and into which statue do you attempt?
I will attempt the same with the other two statues. I'll put the ritual book in Gilwen's hands and see if that happens. If anything happens.
No. The same thing happens. Her mouth clicks open. It seems to be trying to read and then gives up and closes again.
Hashat, do you still have that genealogy of the primordials with you?
Of course I do.
Well,
Guys,
we know. Let's just.
guys,
Ursula?
where's August?
He said he's waiting at the entrance so he doesn't freak out the ghosts.
Okay, let's just. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, let's. We know we can read that. Let's just try that with the statue of Saris. Work out how to make the these sage statues function. Well, they have to be closed, open, where they need to be opened to.
I'd like to try that with a less valuable book.
Well, the reason I suggest that is because it is by Saris, and one of the statues is Saris. So,
Well, then here
I can just make you another
I will
one
put.
if you need.
Oh, this is the first. This is the original.
Oh, yes, but I'm right here. I haven't forgotten most of what I've learned in my life. If one of my books gets destroyed, I can just make another one.
Well, I do have another book by you, actually. So I will try. I will put a book on the ancient Minothan language in the Draconic tongue by Sarah Tyroka. Into Sarah Tyroka, the statue's hand.
All right. Yeah, you put the book in there. The statue's mouth clicks open. And you hear Saris's voice spill out from the statue. It begins to read the dedication to the good Lady Tiamat and the ancient queens of Minotha. And then into chapter 1. The real Saris will snap her fingers. Oh, that's why the Church of Talion asked me to record my voice. That weird little contraption of theirs. Oh, how cute. The sages just read books to you.
Oh, I see.
Ah, what a wondrous and novel idea. I wonder if there's a business in that, actually.
Who would actually pay to hear a beautiful woman's voice reading them soothing stories? I mean, really, Szooth.
Orphans?
Oh.
Oh god, that's
Wow.
so dark!
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Saris clutches her heart, just kind of doubles over. Ouch. I'm never gonna hear Mom's voice again. Dad.
Oh,
Stares out into the middle distance.
oh, Ursula. That is dangerous ammunition.
Holy shit, I did not think about that.
Yeah, Sarah's just gonna take a couple steps over there and go have herself a cry.
She can have herself a hug. Good god, Dave.
That was the most savage thing I've ever heard.
That was brutal.
And I didn't mean that in an evil way either, or, malicious way. Literally. Orphans would love to hear that. And, people who have problems reading.
What orphan shit in your cereal today, man?
Yeah, Saris will accept a hug and, yeah, just bawl for a while. As that's happening, however, the Galewan statue's mouth will click open and say, "Dear Hashat, you are so beautiful and I adore you. Moo,
What?
moo, I love you. Moo, moo,
Wha-
moo."
What?
The statue's mouth clicks closed.
No, he's
What?
just rubbing our hands together.
What was that, Hashat?
I'm not sure. The statue started talking.
Did you just get confessed at by a statue?
That makes sense. You are a stone wizard, sorceress.
I mean, that's never happened before. That doesn't make. I've seen plenty of statues, but that's never happened. Wait a second.
Yeah, the piece of paper's like still in her hands.
Shot takes the paper out of her hand. Very funny.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. As I'm stood in front of the Saris statue now, scrolling in it.
Ah, that explains how that happened.
Aw.
Ooh.
So I'll come and sit down and perch as part of Team Orphan.
That's a team now.
It is. Originally, I was the only one. Now it is Team Orphan.
Well, not really.
Oh. Okay. Oh, turns out we're all miserable.
I'm rather
No.
happy.
No, okay, no. Szooth has it absolutely. He's killing it out there. He's a king.
Hashat, Szooth, Kathy,
Yeah, that's
yes,
true. Hashat has
Thompson,
family too.
Morgan,
Yeah. Okay, no.
Tarnavak.
All right, fine. Is a handful of us are depressing. Thank you.
That does not improve Saris's mood at all.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest.
This poor child.
Wah.
She didn't ask for any of this.
Really didn't.
She was just trying to have a nice day.
She just wanted to go to the library, man. The Saris statue's mouth clicks open and she says, "I'm a big, strong woman, surrounded by people who love her. I am powerful and always will be. And also my friend Nahia knows how to make a good Moscow mule." Saris, the real one, will finally snicker at that. Dry her eyes. "Okay, subconscious, thank you.
You claim my paper. I'm just gonna stick those in the back of the notebook now. Those just became precious memories.
Why don't we just try and figure out how to program these things to read Cipher?"
I expect we'll have to find one of those cipher sheets. That the
Mm.
statue's eyes scanned from one page to the other, right?
What if you put the cipher in one hand and the book in the other hand?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe they share some kind of collective memory. We could have one with the common tongue, one with the medium cipher, and one with the ancient one.
Good work.
But we need to find the cipher itself first, so let's get going.
Sure. And after we're done, I shall make us all delicious Moscow mules for whatever reason.
I have no idea what that is, but I look forward to finding out.
Ah, it is a delicious beverage from the homeland.
Was Moscow the name of the, I presume, salamander who invented it?
Hmm. His
No,
name
there's
was.
a cow that is moss. That has moss. Cow.
So like a druid?
You. Well, it's like elemental cow. So it's stone cow, like moss cow.
Oh.
See?
No, it was Moses Cow. And indeed, he was a great mixer of beverages with vodka, spicy gingers, and lime. No, the root isn't Musk Cow because, it's from Ervanen, which was considerably more cold and less cowy.
Or did they not have fluffy cow minotaurs up there?
Oh, maybe. I never saw one as a child, but I'm sure they're adorable.
I heard some live up in the far north of the Jotuns.
That makes sense, I suppose. There are definitely cows made for snow who are extra fluffy. And I'm imagining just like cousin it, but with horns. Also, if I'm ever doing a historical one shot, I'm going to be playing as Mojjish Cow, mixologist. I said to the north was the entrance to the sanctum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would be this wall over here.
I don't know. Who wants to crack their skull first?
Ah, yeah, excellent. So walk proud. I'll lift up the barrel that's there and place it to the side, and then I'll walk forward into a wall.
All right. Give me an intelligence saving throw to try and disbelieve the wall.
Sure.
Unfortunately, whether it's an illusion or not, you are not capable of forcing yourself through the wall, and you smack into it. Take 2 damage.
Oh, wait a minute. I
Can
recognize his
I
laugh.
double down with athletics?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll an athletics check. You
So
take 22 damage as you just barrel into the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I shake myself off.
Would we perhaps instead like to use the dispelling sword?
I don't know,
I
that was pretty
preferred
funny.
confidence, but whatever.
Yes. Just draw and do a snick snack motion, however many times it takes to make hole appear.
All right. You hear that resounding Dark Souls tink as your sword bounces off the stone. If you want to, you can go ahead and roll me a dispelling roll. All right. If the illusion is here, then it is clearly higher than a 3rd level.
A magic sword, so it's not going to actually be damaged. So I'll keep at it for a bit.
Give it
What
those
about
extra
here
bumps.
near these fallen bricks? They seem somewhat reminiscent of an arch.
Oh, would you like to bull rush it?
I'm not going to go with Bull Rush. Let's go with the old attempted press through this time.
Okay. If the illusion is there, you cannot detect it and rub yourself on the stone.
Glad. Not particularly good with illusions, I confess.
You'll hear it, honestly.
No. I believe it is a fair
Yeah.
observation to say that although I get through a lot of magic based on intuition and bullshit, intuition does not account for much when it is exactly that sense that is being defied by a spell.
Can I
So
check
we don't
the
know which wall it
stonework?
is.
Sure, Ursula, you can roll stone cunning.
Thank you. With advantage of Mason's tool.
Okay. As far as your dwarf eyes can see, this is a perfectly normal wall. These bricks here aren't from the wall itself. It looks like they've been sort of piled up here from elsewhere on the other walls where there's been damage. It's basically a trash heap.
Um,
Nope,
Alright.
that's normal wall over there. Dum-dum.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna
Hey,
go over
Tarn,
to
you want me to
I'm gonna go over to True Seed Ghost and ask which one the sanctum is.
Right? He's chilling in the corner, and by chilling I mean sobbing uncontrollably.
Uh,
Oh, did somebody else remind him he's an orphan?
Savage.
Yeah, basically.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna hand him, I guess, an empty vodka bottle, considering you can't really drink.
He makes to
didn't give
like
him-
slap it away from himself, but his hand phases through you. It gives a cold ache, but it's brief enough not to hurt you. Your bottle does not get shattered.
Okay, I should put the empty away. Apologies.
Tarn, you can do 2 more. Remember, 1 attack motion is 1 dispel, so 2 more dispels attempt.
I mean, it's
You
almost
get
certainly
6.
not this wall. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mercy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basically just going at it for a bit, so
Like I said, your speed is like 3 per every 2 seconds, so
yes, it's just unless Savin particularly wants me to, I don't feel like there's much need to roll 100 times.
No, you can indeed just spend a minute in front of this wall crit fishing. But it does not appear that that's working out. And while you're doing that, stop moving. Jesus. Said stop like 3 times. Hashat and Szooth come to the side passage here following Nahia, but a couple of the ghostly mages have wandered over, bedraggled old scholars. They peer at you quizzically, blocking the path.
Shoe?
One of them takes his boot off and hands it to
more
you.
like
Door?
Ghosts glance at each other, glance at you, and kind of look at Tarn over there, leaning around the corner.
Oh. Door's a wall, but we don't know which wall.
One of them opens his mouth and says something, but it comes out as just a hysterical babble. He gesticulates at Tarnavak again.
I think he says you're doing it wrong.
What's he doing?
He's gesturing at you.
Uh,
Seems to be a crowd forming now.
you know, I wonder if it is actually a wall or if it's an illusory bit of floor over a staircase.
Hmm.
We'll step back and give the floor a poke.
So what square are you striking first?
Yeah, let's start with this one.
Okay. So your sword strikes out and hits the floor with a resounding dink. Several of the ghosts gesticulate at you, babbling. Now effectively boxed in, the whole lot of you at the doors. Mori has placed her hand on her blade at her side.
Winter says stop fucking the place up. Hashat, can you let them pass in a little bit?
Sure.
Are you
Ghost
able to fit
crew,
in that room?
ghost crew will come in. All right. Harn, one of the ghosts reaches up towards your face. Do you let him touch you?
No, I will lean back from the touch. Point, Goodman.
Shakes a fist at you and babbles.
He might want to give you true seeing. It's a risk, obviously, but you know.
All right. Go ahead.
You lean in and he reaches up to touch you again. And Tarn, could you roll me 3d8? You take 11 lightning damage as you are delivered a powerful shock when this ghostly figure grabs your ears and tweaks it like you're a disobedient child. Will attempt to drag you.
Guess you were hitting their wall.
Maybe it wasn't there, I guess. Some other wall?
It's going to drag you out of that room. He points at this bench here where one of the chairs might have been sitting once but has fallen over and broken apart. He'll gesture down.
At where the chair would be or at the floor?
Where the chair would be, which is now just the floor.
All right. Go and mime sitting in the chair.
He says something to you in his insane tongue and stomps off grumpily. He returns to the group and they commune for a moment in their tongue. You don't think they're making any particularly intelligent progress to each other. However, Nahia, Hashat, Szooth, you're
Oh,
standing
what am
there.
I doing? Why am I even bothering with this? Excuse me.
I was wondering when you
Yeah.
would remember that you're a
Eh.
stone sorcerer.
I was hoping we would figure it out without me having to do this. Excuse me. I'm just gonna start sticking my head through walls.
Yep.
Okay. Hashat, you stick your head through the wall there. Could you give me an intelligence saving throw?
Oh, jeez.
Oh no. Was not to will happen.
Hey,
Hey, alright. The rest of you see Hashat just tumble out of sight. You hear
got
a mooey,
it.
yeah! The ghosts look up from their powwow and speak angrily at the rest of you.
I think I found something.
Oh, we already have permission from Lady Autumn Star. It's just that we're new to this location, and so we're unaware of the door's location.
Nahia, can you roll insight?
Sure. 12.
Okay. You can't quite figure out what these ghosts are trying to communicate, but they're clearly quite irate at this point.
Wait,
They're
hang on a
not
second.
resorting to like attacking you violence, but if they had security, they'd be calling security.
Does their donation tin on any wall here?
Donation tin? No, there is a like book deposit box though.
All right.
What level is it?
I'll fend them off with knowledge if you guys want to walk in ahead of me. But
Okay.
I'll write them another spell. We'll go with a nice rare one.
Let's just sneak in along.
Yeah. I will pause partway through drawing it so that they can see that I am drawing them some like a magic, and I will then continue.
Take me a Ceres with me. Also, do I have dark vision?
I have no idea. Do you not?
It's not on my token.
Do Goliaths have dark vision?
Wait, that is a Goliath. All right.
Let's see.
Let's see. They just might. Okay. Duh.
No, doesn't look like they do.
Damn.
So you do not have the benefit of vision aside from what your party has brought with you.
Can I use Bacon in the Shade?
Uh,
Does it gleam bright enough to be a vision weapon that gives me like at least 10 feet?
yeah, when you have it lit up, you can probably get some vision out of it. That makes sense to me.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to use that. Yeah. We're true Dark Souls boys now.
I know exactly how to keep nerds occupied. I write for them Trixie's tricky teleportation.
Ah, yes, they'll be distracted for eons after discovering Portal.
Specifically, this would mostly because this magic didn't exist when these guys were wizards. And I think that will keep them curiously occupied enough not to go calling security.
If they had security to call.
Yeah.
Once you shove new and interesting spells at them, that will disperse the little ghost mob over here. The others will.
They have been placated.
Yeah, they are
Yep.
mollified for now.
Yep. Okay, I've only got one other randomly, like, not of this era spell to hand, and that is Massive Milsky Memory, so let us hope we do not actually have to give them that spell. Up to you, ladies. Gesture at Saris, Tassie, Mori, Moo, Handmaiden.
Ah, so is this way we're supposed to be going?
That one.
Ah.
Thank God, we found a way.
Just a moment. Let's get this to a multiple of 5 so they're satisfied.
Yeah.
And it's rather
Once
specific.
you reach the 5th one, the librarian will just step through the wall and take the paper. Just give you a slight nod and return whence he came. All right.
Ladies, gentlemen.
Boys and girls.
Do any of you have just the spell Dispel Magic? I don't think they like Tarn stabbing the walls.
Oh,
Well, I got something.
I
that is
do
useful
have
against-
Dispel Magic. It's just that whenever I cast it, it's quite a bit more powerful. You know what, fuck it. Okay, fine.
Wait, I can, like, stop it for a while.
No, don't go applying an elixir that may just hate if you're thinking about that. Look, I do have the spell. I just obviously did not want to go ahead using it. Because everything I cast is very strong.
I got
Level
shit.
5, Dispel Magic.
Alright. You dispel the illusion and see Hashat has tumbled down a set of stairs.
Oh,
Yes, Tarn was correct in assuming that this was partially stairs, but Hashat did just kind of
Dust.
fall through.
Dust
Very
my
nice.
hands.
Very nice job, Nahia.
Thank you. I have to imagine it looks really weird if you're used to being able to move through stone and not see it, but then for some reason you can still see a staircase once you're past the illusory part of it. Like, that's got to be like looking behind, like clipping your camera behind a level in a video game, where you're like, oh yeah, look, there's a staircase down there.
It's a bit spooky.
Is it stairs up or down that cows can't do? It's down?
They don't like down.
Yeah, so of course Hashat would just like step through and
Fumble.
fall.
It was fate, unfortunately.
and
The
can't
nature of your
escape from
people.
crossing fates. Forever in anime.
Oh my god, yeah, there is a whole section on cows climbing stairs.
And then mooing in sadness as they can't get down.
Well, cows struggle with walking downstairs because the incline and structure of stairs are not found in nature and are tailored to the human's leg proportions. While they won't ever walk downstairs on their own, it's been proven they will if you force them. Technically, they could walk downstairs. They just don't enjoy it and it makes them nervous.
Oh, okay. So they're just big babies about it.
They are incredibly big babies about it. And I guess it was also got to be disconcerting for Hashat because these stairs are indeed similarly not Hashat-sized stairs as she goes down them. So there's some like animal part of her brain going, "No, I don't want to do it again."
So yes, once you have discovered where the stairs are, you can dispel the illusion. The ghosts up there will crowd around you, but if you're not stabbing the wall, they just think you're behaving curiously. It seems they squint and peer and kind of point at you, talking amongst themselves, but they don't stop you this time. You're
So what
able-
you're saying is that Hashat just did an ED219 and chasing Robocop down the stairwell.
Don't get the joke. But yes, you can follow these stairs. They double back on themselves and deposit you out in the proper temple. There are a number of more magely figures down here, sitting in the pews, seemingly much like those upstairs, continuing to live their lives as they did before death.
Oh, hello, Akira. What's the guy's help? I fell down a rabbit hole now. Shampooed and conditioned cows.
Yeah, I
Can't
know,
help
the
it, they're
best.
just the best. They're so pooftacular.
Yes, like that is exactly what happened to Hashat. Yes, he did a tumble down the stairs. The wizardly ghosts don't seem to have really noticed that, but one of the ghosts, a elf woman with dark hair and Talionite robes, has come over and is peering up the stairs with some concern. Has a long, maybe 10-foot tall staff clutched in her hands with a number of candles lit upon it, at the end almost like a trident. But she's set that aside now and says, Are you all right, miss?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Just a bit big for the stairs.
So I see. Oh, and a couple of dragons coming to visit us, and the Lady Morrigan as well. Be welcome.
Thank you. I don't know what it is, but now every time I see an Akurei elf, I'm like, I wonder if this one has like Autumn Star resemblances then. Like, is this going to be some like second cousin or something?
No, she does not have August's features in any way that you can tell.
Oh.
Moriel give a incline of her head and step past. Ro will say, I imagine you're all quite distressed by what you've seen here. I do apologize for the state of the place.
Oh, she's more cognizant than the others.
She nods. That is a blessing and a curse, I suppose. Are you here to break the curse? Speaking of which, you seem alive.
Correct.
Yes, we're here to offer any help we can.
Oh, good. If it's not too much bother, could you kill me quickly?
Um, I can do, yes. Although Morrigan herself is here, I'm sure she could carry you away.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to be a bother to the goddess herself.
Please,
Please.
dear, you are the first amongst all here that has so politely asked. It'd be remiss not to help.
You'll have nothing if not her exclusive attention.
Mori will reach out and put a hand on the specter's shoulder. Of course, dear. But first, tell us what's gone on here. What caused all of this? Maiden will look between the lot of you, frown. Do you not know? How long has it been?
1,000 years.
1,000?
Perhaps a little more.
Oh. Oh, my poor family. Her eyes go wide. She clasps the pentagram symbol hanging on her neck and whispers a quiet prayer. I am sorry. I don't know how much help I can be. I just light the candles.
Well, we're looking for something. We're looking for a cipher.
A cipher. Oh, yes, the archive. It's accessed behind the altar. Just there.
Thank you. Also, do you know where the Lady Autumn Star's remains currently reside? We would like to be able to inter them, and apparently she is herself unable to make contact and would appreciate the presence of a holy symbol.
A holy symbol. Ah, of course. They would be in the living quarters there, up that other set of stairs. There should be a door in the middle part there.
Might we have your name so that we have something to record on your own interns?
Oh, I am Miria. Thank you.
You should just smile. No thanks necessary. So make sure to write down her name so that I don't forget it.
My remains were here somewhere. I was lighting the candles when it happened.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what happened to them. Maybe that dragon chewed them up.
Dragon?
Lady Autumnstar's consort.
Right.
What did happen to you, Maria?
I'm not entirely sure. One day we hear about a war in the north, that the prince has gone mad, is attacking, then the next there's an explosion. The whole temple rocked. It was early in the morning. I was one of the only people awake, getting ready for morning services. And it was like I was choking. I blacked out and woke up next to my own body.
Hmm. Some gas, then, perhaps?
Could have been, but I don't know what or how. Mori'll glance y'all's way and say, when Talion died, many of his temples suffered severe damage. Magic experiments gone awry, or, well, priests going mad. At least, that's what I heard. A little grimace. So it's true what the lady says, that he's dead?
He is gone.
Dave.
How does a god die? Glances
With
at
great
Mori.
effort.
She glances at Mori. Mori shrugs. The foulest sorcery and betrayal. Do not think long on it. Here, before you're too distressed, I can take you to my dream if you'd like. You'll be safe there.
If you could help furnish the place, that would be lovely.
Nod. Thank you. I just want to go. I know I don't belong here anymore.
One last question, if I may. You said the archives were behind the altar, but how do we actually access them?
It's like a tabernacle. There's a small door under the altar. You'll need the cleric's key, though. I've tried talking to her, and she is incomprehensible. All the spirits that were asleep when it happened are.
I see. Thank you.
She nods. No, thank all of you. It's been far too long in this limbo. I'm ready. I hope. I hope the Lady
I'll be
Elsina
sure
will.
to visit soon.
Thank you. I hope the Lady Elsina will see that too. We'll give her a squeeze on the shoulder, and then she fades out.
I expect the motion to be a little bit more dramatic.
More roll her eyes. What, do you want me to explode her in ectoplasm or whisk her away on raven's wings?
I was expecting the Raven's Wings part, actually.
It
I've got
would
to
be
admit,
very,
as far as appearance is concerned, you have a flair for the dramatic.
very
Well,
dramatic.
if I guide her away on my wings, I'm not coming back till tomorrow.
That is a good point. I would be quite screwed out.
Yes. Although I would get access to some hair dye. I bet she knows how to make that. Did you see those locks?
Oh, yes, of course. Not often that you would see an elf with anything darker than the shade of slightly warm brown.
Hmm.
And now, like, scrolling through all of the, like, historical figures tokens for elves who actually have dark hair. Sure ain't many.
I mean, Archelon had dark hair. Well, you can't see that in his token. But yeah, like, the famous Autumn Star family are all blondes, so that makes sense. Sort of their
Yeah.
mystique. You know,
Or
Mori.
they're all Residium blue.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mori would like to be black-haired and gothy, but thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
This is where I'm gonna have to actually, like, make sure Nahia's always
You
got a
can't
stock
blame
of
that.
hair dye.
Okay, you can't blame that on her mom, who
No,
is
her
a
mo-
brunette.
No, it's because her mom did the, like, literally dyed her hair in front of us, not because of it. She obviously got her glorious golden locks from the sun god. We get that part.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she was blaming because mom on hair.
No,
Nah,
her
yeah.
her mother booped her hair dye off to embarrass her.
As a parent, I'm sure she loves seeing her little girl be, like, emotive and stuff instead of moody and goth.
Indeed. The little handmaiden illusion will ruffle Mori's hair. She will frown. Right. Shall we go get this key then?
Sure.
Hmm.
I hope I don't have to go looking at any more ghost books, though. That does not mesh well with, Eldritch Eyes. I'm starting to get a bit of a headache.
If the cleric is insensate, we may have to do battle.
I almost relish that thought. As I would just the same rather it did not come to such a thing. Especially as an entire room full of ghost mages is a frightening concept in general.
It'll be a lot less threatening once the shot
Okay.
fireballs them all.
Oh, I could do that now without causing tremendous damage to the building. I figured something out.
Yeah. Are you able to make it radiant, or is it just energy types?
Yeah, I don't know what that first one. I mean, I don't know anything about that first one. That one's just like that's like what?
Okay. She'll go up to the living quarters first then, and then come back down afterwards.
Might as well. While everything
Hopefully,
is Kuna Matata.
yeah. Well, hopefully the body has some kind of like crest identification. It'll give us a little bit more social weight in having a confusing dialogue with this cleric.
So yeah, if you want, you can head up the other stairs. The ghosts don't seem to much acknowledge you.
Mm-hmm.
Mori will stay here and keep an eye on things for you, however.
Sure.
So yeah,
If you
up.
can infer anything useful about them while we're gone, that'd help.
She's not optimistic about inferring anything from these half-insane mages, but she'll try. The rest of you can head up the stairs.
Don't forget Lil Tassie.
Yeah, don't forget the waifu. So this stair does much the same thing as the other one, curving back upon itself, but there is a small door on the landing here, which you can open up and will take you to a quite long hall that branches out into priest's living quarters. This section of the temple seems even more abandoned than the others that you've been through. Dust clings heavily to every surface, as do thick cobwebs. A few particularly large spiders note your passing and scutter off into the shadows. But there are no ghosts roaming these halls. None at all. And one room looks particularly more important than the others. A quite gilded set of double doors that lead into a master bedchamber. A two-room affair with a private salon as well. And in the bed you find a skeleton, but there's a second one as well, standing at a dressing mirror. The mirror itself has been shattered, and the skeleton slumped over it wears plate armor. It has a platinum holy symbol of Talion hung around its neck. No spear, though, not that you can see.
I assume the plate armor is indeed a match to
Yes.
Elsira's.
It's undeniably her corpse in the midst of getting dressed and armored for the morning.
You said there are two corpses.
Yes, there's another in the bed, still covered up by bed sheets, now threadbare, moth-eaten.
Shall wander over and take a look.
Step over to the bed, peel the sheets off. There's a slight rattle of bone, but the skeleton stays relatively together. It's unclad, and in this stage, there's not an easy way to tell what species the individual might have been, but it's quite clearly male.
Would it match that cleric's height, perhaps? Because I feel like we've not seen many, like, handsome, just, like, fill that role males.
That cleric seems to be female.
Well, it could have fooled her. It could have fooled Nahia.
I mean, they're elves, you know. How can you tell?
Yeah. Well, it can't be her dragon since that one actually had a form. Then again, dragon could just be formed differently. Is there any evidence of like scale or horn?
No, this seems to be a fairly mundane humanoid, human elf, half elf. Bit tall for a dwarf.
Let's see here. Any ring on this person, perhaps?
Yes, there is a ring, though it's fallen off the skeleton's finger and sat in the bed sheets. You can find a slim silver band inlaid with bits of gold. Fortunately, it's been damaged at some point, not by whatever happened to this temple, you don't think, as you pick it up and examine it. The gold lines seem to be holding it together, as if repaired.
So at some point this ring got damaged and it was glued together with molten gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold it up with a mage hand. Is there any kind of inscription?
There is indeed. It would be really funny if this was I Prayed Explosive Runes, which...
On the inside of a ring is a dangerous gambit.
And when are you ever going to read that?
I guess, good point. I suppose it's one last fuck you to a grave robber.
No. But instead, the inscription simply reads, "Once an autumn star, always an autumn star. No shattering will break us."
Huh. I'm bringing that up to the people with more history education than me.
Just looks at the big brain book nurse here.
I mean, I guess I could roll history at it.
I feel
Right,
like you and
that's,
Szooth the
that's
only ones with any hope.
Sure. Can I get an assist?
Yes.
Can I get Marek helping us, actually? Since
Yeah, he can scratch his ghost brain.
Sure. Since he does give me an extra d6.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
And do I have a guidance spot?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Even Nahia has it now. Yay!
So with like the d4, that'll be an over 30, so 32.
Okay. Unfortunately, as far as you can remember, this inscription has no historical significance beyond its implication that someone tried to make this fellow not an autumn star, which you suppose technically did happen to August, but that's clearly not his body. The shattering doesn't ring any bells for you. It's probably more implying what happened to the ring itself.
There's nothing about this recorded anywhere. This was a personal tragedy.
I see.
Just look at the series.
What?
Saris wasn't there. That's her statue.
I know of the Lady Elsina, but I'm not a personal acquaintance with her. If she is married or was, I'm not really aware.
Well, yeah, it was. You were there when a lot of that stuff happened. Just gonna see if you had any knowledge in the back of that big brain of yours.
Sorry, this one's beyond me.
And it's a long way to go back to August.
Nahi, if you want to throw an investigation into the room, you can see what you can turn up.
I am in and of myself awful at investigation. And someone else wants to take the lead on actually peeling this over for properly hidden things, I'll help them out. But otherwise, it's just what they have on their persons as opposed to
I have a
like actually be
5.
looking in. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I say check for equipment, is making sure like the shit that any bodies here are wearing isn't like magical and or dangerous, as opposed to like actually looking for loot.
Okay. Well, the
So
male.
we got 5 on.
Go ahead.
We just got 5 on Szooth. Tarnavak, what's your investigation?
Szooth is better.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
Szooth is our only investigator because he
Alright,
used to be a rogue.
Am I getting an advantage?
Yeah.
22.
And a D4.
That's true. I can chuck a guidance on you too. You'll take my help and like it.
25.
Oh, 25. Neat.
Okay. With a 25, let me finish typing out what you find here with some extra stuff. Give me just a moment.
Yellow.
Yeah.
I'm just typing out all the stuff you find here.
Alright.
It doesn't get lost. There you go. So, there is, of course, the dude's ring, some beautifully masterworked plate armor, her short sword, but it is entirely mundane and ceremonial. There is a bunch of jewelry in a box, another locked box, and a coin purse, and also a portrait of Elsina and what you would assume is whoever this fellow was.
Hmm.
And
I
some,
guess when things started going wrong, he wanted to disassociate himself from the family he was married into.
perhaps, or perhaps it just fell down behind the bookcase. Hard to
Hmm.
say. There
No,
is,
no, I'm in regards to the ring being broken, saying once
Oh.
Storm Star always.
perhaps.
I would think it more likely that someone disapproved of their union.
Ah,
A mighty autumn star and a human. That's
right. Specialty of Italian night. Hopefully, though, this goes away to persuading her to move on and see them again. I will collect the portrait, the ring, and her holy symbol.
Okay.
Should probably bury her with these once she's done as well. So I'll take the bodies up and find a nice place for them, but I won't go burying them yet until their belongings, some of their belongings can go with them, vis-a-vis the ring and the album. The portrait, even.
Okay.
Alright, I guess the last step then is this cleric and getting
Yeah.
under to get the ciphers.
You can return down the stairs and you'll find Mori in much the same place as you left her, standing with this illusory handmaiden. Let's see if she's learned anything while you're away. She'll wing over to you guys as you step down and say, well, I wouldn't worry too much about these mages. They seem barely more than prestidigitators. Not as big a threat as I might have thought. The cleric, though, I see heavy armor under her robes, and there's a staff with her that's clearly enchanted. Could be a bit more dangerous.
Okay. I will be right back then. I'm going to go take these up to the top.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, I'll head up out of the group and just be gone for what, like 5-10 minutes while I just quickly place the bodies in a put of rest, like burying them in a bed, but move them from here at the very least.
Yeah, get them somewhere out where you can retrieve them for proper burial later. Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, we could, once that's going to close, ask August.
That is true. On your way out of the library, you will find August slumped up against the wall sleeping, as you do.
Just ask him about who she married.
What?
Married
Who?
in.
What's
Sure.
what's marriage got to
That's
do
it.
with anything?
I'm sure they said it. What was her name again?
Elsina?
Elsina?
Yeah. What? Why do you care who she
Human.
married?
A human?
Yeah. What? August will rub his eyes. What the fuck's it matter?
Did, well, did you, was that a approved marriage or?
Oh, fuck no. What do you think?
Not a lot according to people, but
Well, yeah, well, fair enough. No, obviously, the Elven Queen did not approve of any of her relatives, near or distant, marrying outside the Elven aristocracy, or at least those of our neighboring kingdoms. Lyris' case. Marrying a dragon, that's one thing. A human, please. What, you think her being a bitter bitch about it is still what's keeping her here?
wait, other character. She was putting on the dress. She was dressing up when she was awake when everything happened,
Yes.
correct? So
Yeah.
that's why she retained her intelligence. She was asleep and would not. He was a human. You said the mirror was broken. Had her body fallen into it?
Let's see. You got a really high investigation check. Yeah, you can CSI that. No, there are some like glass scratches on her gauntlet where it looks like she punched the mirror at some point previously.
We haven't seen him. Everyone that died here became like a spooky ghost. And if they were awake, they had intelligence, but he was asleep in her bed when it happened. We haven't seen him.
Seen his husband? Maybe she stuck his spirit in a golem. I don't know. And again, if I was her, I'd have just dispatched him. He's a fucking cleric. He was not exactly a powerful person, from what I remember. Probably could have turned him if she wanted.
Okay. Just... Do you remember his name?
August will think for a moment, tapping his chin. Fucking human names all sound the same, but I think it was Malcolm? Something like that. Mallard? No, definitely Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Yeah, that's it. He called him Comb, and when I got introduced to him the first time, I thought she called him Comb, like a hair comb. Never mind. It's not actually that funny when I say it back, but it was funny at the time.
No worries.
Was a
Gotcha.
what was it? He was teacher of some kind. Yeah, some nobody job.
Okay, I only heard teacher, as I wasn't sure what you said there, second.
Teacher. August believes the fellow was a teacher.
Ah, teacher. I didn't hear I only heard teacher, so I wasn't sure.
Alright, I've lit the bodies for now. Do you want me to bring this symbol to her, or do we go into the cloister?
Well, we need the books that are down there.
Well, yes, we can read those amongst ourselves.
I mean, we need the cipher books.
Yes, that she herself, but whatever. Yes, we can do that bit first then. I was just saying whether you wanted me to hand her things first, or we grab the cipher first.
Okay. Grab the ciphers, we only have to do one trip.
It's assuming we have to make another trip to her otherwise. I just figured that handing her this will emotionally compromise her, and giving her that time before we come back might be for the best. Give her some time to think on it all, instead of push her immediately into the matter that comes afterwards. I don't exactly want it to feel like I'm emotionally blackmailing her otherwise.
Oh, you mean like the portrait and the symbol?
Yes, the portrait, her symbol, and their ring. I was going to hand her all three of them at once. I just realized that if we do that and then also hand her the cipher books, that she might be a little bit unprepared to read.
Okay. You want me to come with you then?
Nah, it's fine. Believe it or not, like dashingly confident now when surrounded by undead. Worst comes to worst, I can teleport out of danger quite
Oh,
quickly.
that was. Oh, you can teleport?
That.
Okay. Well, I'd be in the same room at least, so.
Alright, fine. Then check if anyone else wants to watch me break a ghost's heart, or if they're happy for me to just go do that.
If you require, I'll be there for emotional support if you like.
No, I'm fine. It's her who's going to be miserable. But I also don't think that any of us are going to make her less miserable.
Saris will volunteer to hug a ghost if need be.
Yeah,
Zooth-
sure.
Okay.
Shit, I forget Zooth does have ghost hugging abilities as well.
Big
Yep.
hugs are what I can do.
This is true. Alright, okay. Yeah, I just realized it would have been, rude. Otherwise.
Yes, a lot of you can head upstairs. For this one, August will actually think better of it and stay outside again.
It doesn't want to see like a relative get just emotionally devastated in front of him.
Yeah, more that he probably caused this to happen, so...
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he kind of liked Elsina, so...
Yeah.
Little column A, little column B. Mostly column B. So, a lot of you can step into the audience hall. Elsina will lean up as you enter. Smile slightly. Ah, my holy symbol. Good.
Yes. And some other things recovered that I thought that you would like, since you might not have been able to see to them for a long time.
Ah, yes, I have been able to go visit my chambers, though I admit I'd honestly not seen that portrait in a while. Case is a bit heavy to move.
Here.
He will take it from you with some visible degree of effort on her part, heft it up against one of the statues at her side. Oh, cold. He was a handsome man, wasn't he?
Very dashing.
That he was. Someday I'll see him again.
It doesn't have to be a long time, you know. Saw another of your Flock, your congregation actually was still quite lucid down there, and it's been, well, waiting. She's already gone on ahead. And promised to light a few candles.
Oh, you dispatched poor Miria.
Dispatched? No, no. She asked to fall upon a sword, but she was just gently escorted instead by Mori.
Semantics. Honestly, a bit sad to see her go. One of the only people here worth conversing with.
You won't be apart for long, at least.
That's true, I suppose.
And indeed, I suppose it can be a much happier reunion than both commiserating together.
She will extend a mage hand and pluck her holy symbol up from you. Speaking of which, thank you.
You're welcome.
This will expedite my task somewhat.
Would you be willing to divulge the realities of this task? I can only assume it is related in some manner to Talion himself. Some essence or echo?
What the hell would I have part of Talion here?
It is entirely a possibility.
Sits back on the throne, just wave you off like you're crazy, and starts fiddling with the holy symbol. After a few moments, you hear a slight click, and the pentagram rotates into two halves and comes apart. And Nahia, Hashat, Tarn, the three of you see the faint hint of blue lightning inside. Selena smiles.
A secret little stash, huh?
The autumn stars have a bit of a history with abusing this substance, but I always carried a bit
we know.
on me. Yes, I'm sure you do. Surprised August didn't strut in here like he owned the place, blue as the sky, but no, I kept a bit, just in case I ever needed it, either for a relative or an emergency spell. Small fortune, but no price too great. She will tap the holy symbol closed again and close it. There, perfect.
And here, yes, there is one last thing of yours, or more particularly Combs, and I shall hand her the ring.
She puts a hand up, shakes her head. No, if you intend to bury our bodies, that belongs with our remains. I'll just drop it on the floor when I discorporate.
No, I figured you would like to hold it until that time came. We're waiting before actually interring to rest. You can put the portrait in as well if you would like.
No, you hang on to that.
Okay.
He sits back, smiles at the pentagram, tucks it under her armor. I must say, having living assistance is somewhat convenient. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. If you don't mind, it is likely that the remaining congregation may protest when we go into the room with ciphers in it.
If you need them dead, you need them dead. Their spirits aren't worth much to me anyway.
Okay.
Don't sound so defeated.
It's still a sad matter. I know that you've come to terms with it, but it is disconcerting to come to a place and see the congregation lost and broken still, and know that their time has already come and gone.
I suppose they are my congregation. No,
Indeed.
it's not the head priest here for long, but they are mine after a fashion. If you find the matter distasteful, I can go down and dispatch them for you. They'll pose no threat to me.
I believe that should be your decision as opposed to ours.
You sure I'm not the one walking around with the Morrigan in my pocket?
That may be so, but they're still Talion's flock, although I would like to see them sent to their proper place. There's I who can perform this duty, or there is yourself. Depends on whether you feel it is the right thing for you to do or I. Either of us work, and it is within either of our purviews.
She taps her cheek a moment. Very well, you've guilted me into it. I'll go and take care of them. Turns to the dragon as if to mount up and shakes her head. No, I can do it myself. It's been a long time since I had excuse to stretch the old muscles.
Quint stretch the muscles. Oh well, yeah, it's fine. I guess
I'm not going to
Character,
go quietly.
until we gangbang her.
yeah, every single member of the party unzips. Oh no.
Oh my.
Weird.
Oh my. Dude. Yeah, we'll come along and make it quick if she would like to have backup in the wings.
Sure. Turns out she doesn't really need it. The spirits don't react to her as a hostile presence even once she drives her spear into one of their backs. She is able to go from person to person, slaying them. There are the occasional grunts and cries of pain, surprise, betrayal, but they're over quickly enough. Ceres will grimace, but Mori seems quite content, nodding approvingly with each spirit slain. And see her slowly working her fingers in arcane gestures, doubtless sucking up these wayward souls. And Elsina comes to the cleric at the front of the chapel. She pauses long enough to sigh and reach out, grab the girl's cheek, bring her in for a forehead kiss, and then give her the old hand solo. It's a look of shock from the cleric. She looks between her chest and Elsina's hand before slumping down onto her knees and discorporating. The last remaining Talionite in the chapel will slump her shoulders and clack the bottom of her spear on the stone. It is done. May the Morrigan, or whatever god will have us, protect them.
Of course. I believe that you did the right thing.
I hope so.
They will appreciate it more from you than us when we meet again.
Perhaps. Now, do you need me to translate this book for you, or can you manage yourselves?
Will the three reading statues be able to work the cipher and the book between them?
Maybe. Probably.
We'll come up if they do not.
Right. Of course. And rather than going up, though, Elsina will couch her spear under her shoulders, and she will walk south through the warded doors at the bottom of the chapel, and she asks you kindly not to go through. She will disappear.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and before she walks off, just says, "Thank you."
Don't thank me, half-breed. I've done nothing but my duty. Now as ever.
Yeah, but they couldn't say it. I just said it for them.
She pauses, reaches out, and gives you one solitary head pat, which is cold and uncomfortable, and she'll walk through the door. Yeah, you guys can go to the tabernacle, unlock it with the key off the priest's neck. It is a spectral thing, it turns out. And it takes a couple minutes to realize, oh, this isn't her body, is it? And you go up the stairs and find her corpse, take the key from the actual body, and unlock the physical tabernacle. Whereupon there is a small set of stairs down into a tiny cupboard-sized archive filled to the brim with very old scrolls, many of which are written in cipher, and which next session you can use to perhaps translate and find out just what it is that Talion decreed upon poor Minerva.
Man, those are some fucking ancient ass books.
They are very, very old.
It's not like the scholars right here, like rock hard.
Oh yeah, now we're
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you
stealing
see
all of these.
a massive tent in Sarah's skirt, for sure.
Stop looking at my skirt.
Because you say, stop looking at my cloaca.
I'm sorry. How tall do you think Ursula is?
It's not her fault she has to look up your skirt. It starts over her head.
Yeah,
Hey, well,
she's not even 5 feet tall, dude.
stop. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. To say anything would be to say anything at all would be a lie. So I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
You're legit dick punching height, so don't. I can fucking Shabrook in your. I can play as Quasimodo and make the bells ring.
Please don't.
Oh, God. I
Brutal.
instead had the image of the gym speedball that you punch.
What's funny is that she threatens, but Szooth has actually done it.
That is true. You have actually played someone's dick and nuts like a speed bag.
Brutal. All right, let's do XP, shall we? Let Merz get off to bed. For I too am running on very little sleep.
What did you say this is?
I said let's do XP so Merz can go to bed. And then I can go to bed.
Okay, I heard that Submerse can get off.
I mean, look, Merz's bed rituals are entirely her business. If that's what it involves, then that's what it involves. I'm not judging.
Yeah, it's like he's fucking timing as Discord interrupts. It's like, well, that's a fucking comedy material right there.
All right. So did you explore a new interesting location for the first time? Yes, absolutely. Did you discover new interesting truth about the world?
Talion's death actually, directly caused all of the people here to die?
Yeah, pretty much. Directly or as a immediate side effect. Haven't discovered exactly what their cause of death was, but yeah, something sure coincidental happened. Did you make a new ally or a lasting enemy? A Assuming you don't plan on dicking over Elsina arbitrarily at this point, I think you can go ahead and mark her in as an ally. She kind of likes you guys now. Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes. Did you discover a new page in a companion story? Well, Mori's dream actually has people in it again. That's
Yay!
substantial.
It's not just going to be the tree.
It's not just a bird sitting in a tree all by herself.
There is now a single person there.
Well, there's presumably
No,
a
there's
congregation now in a chapel.
Yeah.
The
Now
very,
she's-
very, very first person to get pulled in was a candle lighter, so obviously they need a place to light candles in.
Now Mori has a bunch of her uncle's dead worshippers.
Hopefully, they'll recover the ability to communicate eventually.
Yes. One would hope that one of the side effects of being in the dream is repairing one's damaged soul. And yes, 5 XP, everybody.
It's like that crack filling cement, like the rubber paste. You just smear it into a soul and then blow on it until it's dry. Look
Honestly,
at that, one whole dude.
Oh my god.
I thought we were going to when she was going to go down and dispatch the ghosts herself. I thought we were going to go with her and presumably gack her as soon as she had her back turned, and it was away from her.
None of
all
us,
her
none of
guardians.
us are seasoned Autumn Star Slayers. We can't do that.
I mean, I guess, yeah, you could have interrupted and being like, and I'd stab her in the back.
It would have been the best time to get rid of eliminate her because she was away from all of her guardians.
It's
It
true.
would have been real
Yes,
easy.
Lich,
It's too.
and
It's
we were all a
too.
circle around her.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that though. I feel like if Nahia were lawful as opposed to chaotic, she would absolutely do that kind of thing in order to see Mori's will done.
It's okay. Now instead you
couldn't
have
escape
a
either.
ghosty friend.
Yep. Hopefully she gets to leave on good terms after she's technically subverted the natural rule. As long as I didn't see it, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as the natural rule gets put back into shape later, Mori won't have to tweak her too much. Oh, she is not super thrilled with this situation, but he also does
I
not
think
want to
she's-
provoke a fight that might get you killed for no reason.
Yeah, like when I actually saw that great big temple room, I was like, "Fucking odds are I get focused immediately in a conflict between all of these spookums, and we're scared." When he was like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm not scared of ghosts. I'll teleport out." Dead ass lie. I have no teleportation powers. I have no ability to escape from any kind of danger. It's just raw confidence.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even have Misty Step anymore. I don't have a way to get out of a conflict. It's not in my nature anymore.
Well, good
Good
job.
night, poor Ursula.
All right. Well, if you're watching on the stream or YouTube, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a few days for Sav&D. Till then, adios.